Welcome back to Reality Hits Matt. This is a podcast where I watch reality TV and my husband reacts. I'm your host, Michelle.
And I'm Matt.
This week we'll be recapping Season 1, Episode 2 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. If you missed last week's episode where we recapped Episode 1, you can jump back to that podcast from last week and take a listen. Matt, do you want to give us a quick recap of what we talked about last week?
Sure. Let me give a quick recap here of Season 1, Episode 1. I've not seen this at all. This will just be based off of what Michelle told me last week. So,
You're like blaming me for it being wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if drop a comment if there's any corrections, or you can correct me. But last week we kind of got into it. To me, it seems like there's two main characters. There's the two camps, Taylor and Whitney.
Yep.
And I guess all of these kind of Mormon wives got famous on TikTok. Their Mom Talk, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
So they had millions of followers there. That kind of sparked off the drama, landed them a reality TV gig. I think the main thing was Taylor posting a live on TikTok explaining that her and everybody else in the community are swingers.
Yep.
Some people didn't take too kind to that. They weren't in that movement, I guess. So then that's when Whitney left. Her and her husband, they left and went to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's some other drama going on there. I think her husband was on Tinder prior to this, so she could have left because of that to get away, maybe, but this was her out, I think. So she actually comes back, confronts Taylor, asks her why she did this. Taylor is like, wants nothing to do with it. I don't care, I'm not going to say sorry. And because of Taylor, they have this reality TV show. They got more famous than they were. And what else was happening?
I'm actually really impressed with what you've been able to cover.
Yeah, and this is, like I said, I haven't seen it. I'm just going off of what you told me last week.
Yeah, so I think that the only big highlight that you missed was the ending of the show where Taylor gets arrested.
Yeah.
Told
me about that. Her boyfriend, Dakota.
Yeah.
There was, I guess they went out drinking. She was drinking.
They went out to dinner.
Yeah.
And they were talking about their morals and values, and they weren't drinking at that point. And she leaves dinner saying, I'm getting fucked up tonight. And then it cuts to her drunk, and he's not drunk. And the neighbor calls the cops and is like, hey, there's something going on. She ends up getting arrested for domestic violence.
Right. And then that's the end of the episode.
Yes.
Now, there were some other people in there. There's a lot of names. It's hard for me to stick through all this. There's a girl that's very sick. Hopefully she's doing better. Maybe
Michaela.
Maybe you learned a little more about her this week. You can tell me about it. Hopefully she's doing better.
We see her, but we don't know her status yet.
We're not sure if she's going to make it or not.
No, she's going to be fine. Oh, my God.
I don't know. She sounds like she's in grave condition.
That. So bad.
I'm just going off of what you told me last week.
I know, and she still looks like she's struggling this week, but I really hope she's getting answers.
Hopefully there's some doctors watching. They can help her out. Maybe she's not getting the right diagnosis.
Maybe. I mean, it happens all the time. So you did really good. So episode 2 was filmed 11 months after Taylor's arrest. So there's almost a year gap between the first episode and the second episode
But the first episode was filmed over many months.
Correct. At least 4.
Wow. So we're over a year and we're just 2 episodes in.
Right. A year and a half. Yeah. Roughly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 11 months after Taylor's arrest. So she was charged with aggravated assault and got 3 years probation. And the shocking part of the start of this is that she's 8 months pregnant.
Oh, right off the get-go.
Off the get-go. Taylor's 8 months pregnant.
Wait, so last episode, she had to take a pregnancy test.
She had a miscarriage.
She was pregnant, had a miscarriage, told everybody about it. So she got pregnant before she went to jail?
No, after. Because this is 11 months
so
after
she wasn't
got
in jail
arrested.
very long.
No, I think
Okay.
she got arrested, probably got out.
Okay.
And then
so
went
now
to court.
She is pregnant.
Yeah.
With Dakota?
Yeah.
Okay.
Producers asked Taylor if the pregnancy was like a conscious decision between Taylor and Dakota. And she says that after she got arrested, they never broke up. And she thinks that they both wanted this pregnancy, even if it wasn't the smartest decision.
Okay.
And she ends it with, "It is what it is." So probably not the most well-planned pregnancy, but that's how this episode starts. So Taylor meets up with her mom to go shopping, and she tells her mom she had one of her last probation meetings. So she had to go to probation meetings once a month, and now she has to go every 6 months until she's off probation. So her mom is like not happy about any of this.
Right.
And her mom is saying we should have never even been here in the first place. Not thrilled about the pregnancy. That comes into play a little bit later. But they go shopping, and during this, Taylor opens up to her mom about how she had a lot of stress after she got arrested. I guess someone had filmed her leaving the jail and posted on social media, and it was like an awakening call for her to get her life together. So she's recommitted to the church. She's been going back to church even though now she's pregnant. So she's like, this isn't the most orthodox way of doing things, but like I'm doing it.
Okay, right.
So she's trying to better herself, and she becomes very emotional with her mom and opens up a lot during this. And it seems like she is very concerned about doing this alone. And she feels like she's lost a lot of friends. She doesn't have anyone in her corner, and she is pushing Dakota away because she doesn't think that she should have a happy ending. So she thinks that she's kept him at an arm's length because of everything else that's going on. Like, she doesn't deserve happiness. She has this very vulnerable moment, and to me, like, she definitely opened up a lot to her mom. It seems like she's trying to better herself, but she still hasn't talked to the mom talk girls. It seems like she's been like kind of on her own little
11
island.
months.
Yeah,
like since the arrest and all that, she hasn't talked to them. Okay.
Yeah. So it cuts to Whitney, Macy, and Michaela meet up for lunch. Macy and Michaela were the other two OG mom talk girls that started TikTok. Whitney says that she was shocked Taylor's pregnant. Macy says she was not. Macy still seems like she's closer with Taylor than the other girl. So it seems
she's the one last episode that you said has her back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they haven't talked?
I think that they've probably talked here and there.
Right.
I don't know, like, if they've seen each other a lot or like in like a social media setting. They haven't been posting together. I think Macy has talked with Taylor since the 11 months. They're going back and forth. In this scene, Whitney is kind of starting the foundation of moving mom talk away from Taylor. And so she thinks, and it was kind of interesting to see this side of it, because sometimes reality TV is so scripted that for people who have a big social media following or have a big reality TV following, you don't really hear the discussions about like brand deals or like monetary things.
Right.
So Whitney thinks that Taylor's arrest and all the drama surrounding it, she agrees that the swinging scandal got them clout and got them views, and it was great. But ever since the arrest, it's gone the opposite way, where brand deals have been down. It's not a good look on any of them, and they need to move back towards where Mom Talk was like founded on, which was sharing their vulnerable personal lives with their families and just what it's like to be a Mormon in Utah. And so Macy asked Whitney straight up, like, are you thinking of excluding Taylor? And that question doesn't get answered. Like, it just kind of cuts. Like,
interesting.
So But during this conversation, it's funny because even though Macy has kind of pegged herself as having Taylor's back, she does say that she thinks that Taylor thinks with her vagina, not her head. And Michaela says, I don't think she thinks with anything. So there's definitely a consensus where Taylor's actions are not really approved by the group as a whole.
Right.
And they're kind of like, we need to fix this. So they end with talking about Taylor's baby shower coming up. All the Mom Talk girls got invited to the baby shower, and Taylor's hoping that everyone shows up to support her.
Okay.
And Macy ends with asking if they were going to go to the baby shower, and again, it doesn't get answered. So it kind of like leaves you on a cliffhanger.
Right.
Of like,
now this is her third child, right?
This is her third.
Okay.
Yeah, first one with Dakota, third child. So that all happens within the first 6 minutes of the episode. Then we go into the intro song.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
It gets you caught up pretty fast. You can definitely see how it's set up where Taylor's trying to get back in with this group. Whitney wants to set herself up as this leader and as taking Mom Talk in a different direction. And the rest of the girls kind of are trying to figure out what's going on. After the intro, it cuts to Macy's house where Macy and Demi, Layla, Michaela, and Whitney, so there's 6 of them, are filming TikToks. We do get an intro of Layla, which we didn't get last episode. So Layla is the youngest of the group. She's 22 years old, and she got married when she was 19. She was married for 3 years until she got a divorce from her husband, and she has 2 kids from that marriage.
Okay.
She's only dated 4 people, which kind of comes up in what happens at Macy's house. So we'll get into that, where like she hasn't really had an opportunity to like explore relationships and herself and kind of grow. She went to a very Mormon populated high school, but she wasn't Mormon. So when she was hanging out with everyone, she was like, well, what do all my friends have in common? And it was the fact that they're Mormon. So when she was 16, she actually got herself baptized on her own into the Mormon church. So she didn't,
because of all of her friends,
right?
And she wanted to join along,
right?
Okay.
So she didn't grow up in this Mormon life, but she seems like she is conservative and falls into that religion aspect. She doesn't really like go against the grain.
Right. Okay.
And then she stated that being Black in the Mormon church, she doesn't take it personally, but you do stick out like a sore thumb. So she's the only Black Mormon wife in the group.
Okay.
Which I had mentioned last week. Jen also got an intro during this scene, which we didn't get last week. So Jen is 24 years old. Her husband, Ben, their last name is Affleck. So she says that Ben Affleck is Zach's second cousin, and she was the first Jen Affleck, and her and Jen have the same middle name, Lynn. I will say though, I think that this comes out later to not be true.
Okay.
So I think she gets like really asked about it in the media, and she was like, no, that was taken out of context. But she clearly says Ben is Zach's second cousin.
We have the receipts.
So anyway, I don't know if that's true or not, but I think it comes out later that it's not true. So she says that her goal has always been to provide for her family, and she's always been super comfortable with her sexuality, which that plays into this scene that we're about to talk about. So it's not really about her. But she is a very conservative Mormon and follows all the rules. So her husband's family is super religious. Her family is super religious. I don't know how many kids they have together, but they have a couple. And then she just recently had a kid too when this episode was filmed. So they're at Macy's house and they're filming TikToks. And the TikTok was kind of funny. And it's like all of them with their like praying hands. And they're saying, please God, make me the biggest star the world has ever known. And it just made me laugh because I'm like, I don't know. I would never do that and post that on social media, but that's just me. Maybe there was more to that TikTok that made it better, but it was interesting. So they get back into this conversation about how social media has been a blessing because it's allowed them to provide for their family. And Demi asks who of them are breadwinners. And they kind of are like, well, all of us are the breadwinner at home. So it gets back into this brand deal conversation. And Macy says that she had no brand deals over November, December. She had 3 in January. I think it was Demi that said that she had 1 over the holidays and then nothing. And she was wondering if the holidays were slow. And they're talking about how like they need to up that. And then Whitney asks, kind of like transitioning the conversation, if there's any crazy brand deals that they've ever gotten in the past. And that's when Jen and Michaela say that they got offered a brand deal for diapers after they had kids. So like Macy at first was like, I said yes, and then I was reading the prompt and I'm like, oh wait, this is for diapers, like I don't want to do this. So then they kind of put it back on Whitney. Well, like you asked, like, do you have any crazy brand deals? And she goes, well, I need your guys' opinion on something. So she gathers all the girls on the couch and she pulls out this box and she was like, I really need to know if you guys would do this. And she tells them that they're offering her $20,000 and all she has to do is hold the product in her hand and post it on Instagram.
Okay.
Like just one photo
Right.
and she gets $20,000.
Right. What's the product?
Do you want to guess what it is?
I don't know. No, I don't know if I want to take a guess at this.
So she takes out a box of vibrators.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And she's like handing them out to the girls because like she has a ton of them. And they're all freaking out. And some of them are like blushing and they're like, oh my God. So they start talking about how, you know, Macy and Jen say that they would not do it for $20,000. Jen said she wouldn't do it for anything.
I was gonna say, what's your number?
Yeah, Jen was saying that she wouldn't. There's no number. Demi and Layla think that Whitney should take it, and Demi thinks that sex has been a taboo topic in the church for too long, and if Mom Talk is trying to help break the mold, then there's nothing wrong with Whitney promoting it. And so that's kind of Whitney's take through this, is the conversation of sex and religion is so taboo and so not talked about that she thinks that there's females that have never had an orgasm before. And then Layla like raises her hand like, I've never had one. And so she's trying to switch this culture of like, we need to empower one another. We need to talk about it. We need to like have this conversation around it. And I think it's really important. And Layla makes a comment and says, sex shouldn't be talked about before you get married, but then once you get married, you're supposed to be like a porn star for your husband. And then Whitney goes, well, we know who the porn star of this group is for their husband. And they all look at Taylor. And Taylor's like, what? You looking at me? And she goes, we've all seen those nudes.
Jeez.
And so that's when Demi decides to share that Jen encouraged her to take nudes for her husband. And then they start showing each other like their phones.
Oh my.
And so it went from 0 to 100 really quick and not
sounds
seeing.
like it.
So Demi starts showing the group the photo she took for her husband. They're all freaking out and like they're like, oh my God, this is so much. And like Michaela just like straight up leaves the room. Like she's like,
I'm out.
I'm out. She's like, I don't want to see this. I'm good. So then we cut to Taylor's house. So this episode was really interesting because it was definitely the divide. You didn't really see Taylor with the girls.
Right.
And then it was like the girl. So you kind of had this like B story going with the vibrators, and then you had like the A story going with Taylor and her family and the pregnancy drama. So we're at Taylor's house and her mom and dad stopped by. So this is the first time we're seeing Taylor's dad. And to give you an idea of what Taylor's dad is like is the people we work with every day. Like he is a construction worker.
Okay.
He is just very down to earth. He is very like just straight to the point. No bullshit. Like just like, why am I here? I don't want to like he thinks all of this is ridiculous. Like you can tell this man is like so fucking over all this.
We'll have to get him as a guest on here.
I don't know. I think he just probably doesn't even want
to react with me.
You're like, I lived it, buddy. I don't need to hear about it. So her mom and dad stopped by, and Taylor decides to take this moment to tell them that Dakota's moving in today.
Oh, okay.
Like, not like we're thinking about he's moving in. Like, he's coming today, and he's on his way. Taylor said she's excited and wants to take the next step by moving forward and working on their relationship. And her mom and dad do not approve with this at all. They're just like not having it. And they think she's rushing it. And again, Taylor asks, like, would you rather me do it alone? And her mom says, yeah, that's the choice you made.
Jeez.
And her dad truly believes that you shouldn't live with someone outside of marriage. And Taylor's mom lets slip that Taylor isn't totally sure that Dakota's sober. So in this conversation of, is this rushing it? She kind of says, well, you're not even sure if he's sober.
Right.
And then they don't talk about that, but that was in the clip.
Right.
And I rewinded it a couple times to make sure. So again, I think that she's scared.
Right.
She doesn't want to do it alone. And she doesn't really have a village to support her in her mind. So this is the next logical step, is that Dakota's going to move in and he's helping with the baby.
Right. Now Dakota was clean, not drinking.
Yes.
He was recovering.
Yes.
So it sounds like maybe he's back to drinking, not being sober.
Yeah, besides that one comment in the show, there's no other evidence that he's not sober.
And then obviously Taylor's 8 months pregnant, so she's not drinking.
Right.
Hopefully.
I would hope so. I think so.
Wonder if she's going to go back to drinking after she has the kid.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I actually don't know the answer to that one.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah. More to come on that. So when they're having this conversation, she says that the goal is marriage.
Okay.
But since this is her second marriage, she wants to be totally sure before recommitting for the rest of her life to someone else.
That's fair.
And then her dad says, well, then you should have waited to get pregnant. And she goes...
That's also fair.
Yeah. So as this conversation is happening, Dakota pulls up to move in.
Here I am. Here's my U-Haul.
No.
What's he just got a Honda Civic?
He has his pickup truck with 5 boxes in it. It's totally staged for the show, obviously. And he has just boxes thrown in the back, and her parents are still sitting at the kitchen table, and her mom asks if they need help, and her dad just shrugs. He's like, I don't care. I'm not helping this situation. And her mom says, wow, he doesn't have anything, not even couches. And her dad goes, just dirty clothes.
Just dirty clothes.
So this man cracked me up. I was like, oh my God, you need to be on every single episode because this is hilarious. So then when Dakota walks into the room, her dad goes, so first you knock up my daughter and then you decide to move in. And Dakota responds that was an accident. And her dad asks, so what, did you just trip and fall?
Oh my God.
So clearly, clearly he's
not a fan.
No.
Not at all.
And I forgot to mention that before Dakota walks in the room and he goes, so I'm moving in. And her dad goes, totally not impressed, and he goes, just found out.
Nice.
And then starts that conversation with him. So
nice.
Yeah, her dad is hilarious. I was cracking up when I was watching that. And her dad literally then gets serious and asks, is this how you were raised, to just knock up chicks and move in with them? And then they get pretty serious, and Dakota says, this isn't the way that we would have wanted to do it. It's not traditional. We did things backwards. But Taylor and Dakota are saying that they want the same thing, and they're on the same page about their morals and values, even if they don't follow the rules all the time.
Right.
And then Taylor says being pregnant has made her realize that she wants to recommit to the church and be faithful. So
okay. All right.
They're working on it. I don't think that they convinced the parents at all, because her mom at the end of it goes, oh, you really do? And so, I mean, we'll see. We cut to the florist shop where Macy meets up with Taylor to go shopping for the florals for the baby shower. They're catching up. Macy's asking how everything's going with Taylor. And Macy, during this, started rubbing me the wrong way a little bit. So she starts to tell Taylor that... Let's back up. Taylor's telling Macy that she wants the support of Mom Talk. And Macy is saying, those that love and support you will show up. And I can tell you who's not really there for you because we don't need fake friends.
Okay.
But she was the one that said Taylor doesn't think with her vagina. So she's off talking shit with the other girls.
She does think.
Or that she does think with her vagina. So
she's off talking trash about her.
Yeah, she's off talking shit about Taylor to the other girls, so the other girls feel comfortable to like open up about their opinions and their thoughts of Taylor's actions. And then she's going to run to Taylor and be like, oh, I'll tell you who's fake and who's not really there for you. So I do have a slight issue with that. But then she definitely does like want the best for Taylor. And so they start talking about Dakota, and Macy is not a fan of Dakota.
Oh, okay.
Macy is telling Taylor that she does a good job of taking accountability for things that she's done, but she takes all the accountability, and it makes Taylor look bad, but Dakota look like an angel. And Macy's worried that what she's seen Dakota say to Taylor and the actions that she's seen Dakota do can be worrisome. So this is kind of the first, like, besides Taylor's parents not liking him because he was a drug addict.
Well, he doesn't even have a couch.
Yeah. But this was the first, like,
clothes.
This was kind of the first, like, inkling that Dakota could have another side to him, right? So up until now, like, Taylor got arrested for domestic violence. Like, he wants to get married in the Mormon church. He's recommitted and made himself clean. And besides that one comment her mom made, like, this was kind of the first, like, oh, like, so what's going on with Dakota? So Macy describes an event where Michaela and Macy went to this party or event or whatever they were at. And Dakota and Taylor were there as well. And Taylor's ex-husband shows up, and immediately Taylor gets uncomfortable.
Okay.
Macy sees text over Taylor's shoulder that Dakota is sending her. So Taylor's getting text from Dakota while they're at this event.
And Macy's looking over and Macy's reading these.
And Dakota's calling Taylor a slut and a whore and saying, what's fucking wrong with you? So there's concerning attitudes that Macy has where she doesn't think that Dakota is treating Taylor well.
Right.
And Taylor during this says things have gotten better, to which Macy says, well, you don't call me anymore, so I don't know if it's getting better, but hopefully it is, but you can always call me. And Taylor says, I know that, and it has gotten a lot better, and there has been changes made, so like it's fine. But during this whole conversation, the interview with Macy is coming in and out, and during that, Macy says that 2 weeks before Taylor announced that she was pregnant, Taylor was calling Macy saying, I want to get out of this relationship. I don't know how to.
Oh, geez.
Et cetera, et cetera. So Macy's still like really concerned about Taylor.
Yeah.
So the only one thing bumped me about Macy in that scene was about telling her which friends were fake. To which I started questioning, like, Taylor keeps saying, I want the girls to be there for me. My biggest question throughout the show was, has she called any of them to try to talk it through with them prior to this all being on TV? Or are you just expecting to see who shows up to your baby shower and you haven't? It seems like, at least between Whitney and Taylor, they haven't talked.
Okay, right.
So if that hasn't happened, then yeah, like, why would Whitney think that you guys are best friends?
Yeah, I mean,
like,
if you're friends, you're going to talk, you know. I mean,
right.
You just got out of jail. Hey, how's it going?
Right.
It sucks you were in jail.
Right.
Oh,
and that
pregnant?
Can go...
Okay, how's that going?
And I think that can go both ways, where it's like, and we left off in the last episode where Whitney felt really hurt by Taylor and her actions with the video. Then she gets arrested. And then she comes out of jail. If Taylor didn't reach out to me, like, I could see Whitney not wanting to reach out to her because she just wants to separate herself from that drama. Right. But then also in the same regard, like, I could see Taylor, like, not wanting to intrude, like, push yourself on someone after all that went down. But there should be a conversation.
Yeah, you
Both
can't
sides.
Just expect somebody to show up for you.
Yeah, and, like, Whitney also can't just take mom talk away from Taylor when she was such a critical part in starting it.
Right.
So it's like, I feel like there's something missing in communication between those two. And I don't know if that's like them trying to figure out who's like running Mom Talk, because that's what I think the girls feel, is that there's like this pull between Taylor and Whitney, and they both like this limelight, and they both want to take control.
Right. Okay.
We cut to Whitney's mom's house, where Whitney shows up. So this is going back to Whitney now. So Whitney meets up with her mom and her sister. Her sister Lexi is significantly younger than, like 12 years. I think Whitney's 30 and her sister's 18. Her sister's in high school. So there's a big age gap between the two of them. Whitney shows up and Lexi is helping her mom cook. And Whitney comes out with the fact that Lexi is dating a non-Mormon. And so she asks her mom how she feels about Lexi's boyfriend. And her mom says, I think he's a great young man. And Whitney says, had she done that when she was younger, her mom would have not been approving of it. And her mom just goes, well, now you know I would have. Which
we have.
I feel like it's classic younger sibling. The older siblings always think that the younger ones. I mean, we're younger ones, so I feel like I've definitely been on that reciprocating end of like, Michelle got away with everything, which sometimes is true. I feel like as parents just get older, they just get tired of fighting too sometimes. Yeah, so it might just be like, it's not worth my energy. So Whitney brings up to her family that she has this brand deal on the table.
The vibrator brand deal?
Yeah.
Did she tell her family what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she goes, so I have this brand deal. It's really good money. It's for a vibrator company. And she thinks that this brand deal is empowering. And her mom just says, I don't think it is. Her sister Lexi brings up a pretty good concern, in my opinion, is that, does this fit in with the business brand that you've built?
Right.
So you've built this image on social media of being a mom, being, here's my children, here's my life, here's my husband, here's my family, and then vibrator. Like, and that's what she says. And Whitney goes, well, yeah, like, I think if we can all empower one another, then that's the point of it. It's not just family. So they're having this pretty honest conversation. And so Whitney goes on to explain that in the church, the topic of sex and chastity during specific trips, like girls' trips or maybe sleepaway camps, etc., the topic of sex is a no-no. And for me, being in the Catholic Church and doing some of these trips, like for confirmation.
Yeah.
So there's one specific time I remember during confirmation, we had these booklets, and in this booklet you had certain activities that you had to do to get so many points. So if you went to a candlelight vigil, that was 1 point and you had to get it signed off.
Okay.
But if you went to this like overnight camp, you got 4 points. And then you had to get so many points to like pass to get confirmed into the church.
Okay.
And so I was lucky enough to have friends doing confirmation with me, friends that I've grown up in the church with. And so we go, and one of the nights, I think it was a 2-night thing, and one of the nights is you have to go and do your confession. And I remember this priest, and the topic of sex comes up and how so much of a sin it is to even kiss someone.
Okay.
That you need to confess that. And to me, it made me super uncomfortable.
Yeah, this sounds kind of weird.
Because I'm sitting alone with a priest that is like, well, have you ever kissed anyone? Have you ever thought about kissing anyone? And I do think that that needs to be addressed and changed, and the topic needs to be more open.
Right.
Than what religious churches and religious groups preach. And Whitney goes on to say in her interview during this, the producer asked, well, in schools, usually you have sex ed. And she goes, well, I don't know if it's a Utah thing, but no.
Oh, not out there, huh?
And I didn't have, in Catholic school, you don't have sex ed.
School, yeah.
I went to a public high school. I had a health class. I do not remember that class happening. So there definitely is a lack of knowledge, especially if you grow up in a religious setting, and there's shame attached to it.
Yeah.
And so even coming from a side of doing this for yourself, I think is shameful. So I get where Whitney is going with the brand deal, and I get it, but I think she's also like focused on the money part of it too.
Right.
But it was like a really interesting thing to like see the similarities between like someone out in Utah and a Mormon church versus me in New Hampshire in a Catholic setting, and being like, yeah, I went through that too. And I think a lot of young females in like religious groups experience that.
Right.
And
What grades did you go to Catholic school?
I went from Catholic school from preschool to 8th grade.
8th grade.
So the only public school I started at was high school.
And that was 9.
That was 9th through 12th.
Yeah, I feel like sex ed was a thing in like 7th and 8th grade for me.
Yeah.
In public school.
Yeah, no,
So you skipped right over that, went into 9th grade. They're like, yep, you're good.
Yeah.
You're set.
Yeah, I think that they did have like a birthing video class like during health class in high school, but I think I missed it.
No.
Like I think I was.
Well, one, you missed how the birthing even becomes a thing from the get-go.
Yeah, I didn't know how we got there, but
right.
I think I was like on a field trip or I think I got dismissed early for sports or something. So I remember them saying, "Oh, you missed that one class." But yeah, as a whole, not great sex ed over in my world. So I did. Whitney says that she got married and she didn't know, like her and her husband were virgins and they didn't really know what was going on. Like they had to teach themselves. And
that's very interesting.
In a public high school, I pieced it all together, but it's not the right way to do it, right? Like you should probably have a little bit more structure. Did you have sex ed?
Yeah, it was like 7th or 8th grade health class, one or the other, yeah.
I feel like that's kind of young now. Maybe.
8th grade. How old are you in 8th grade?
13, 14.
13, 14. Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's just the shame I've been instilled with about it. Shame. So this goes on for a little bit, and Whitney dives in a little bit more about her thoughts on it, and she remembers a Bible verse comparing sex to murder as a sin.
Oh my gosh.
So that's kind of like her headspace, is that she's trying to break that mold. Her and her mom have like kind of a heart-to-heart where Whitney's admitting that she wished that she could have had more of a conversation with her mom. And her mom says, well, you obviously figured it out, but if I could have gone back and checked one thing off my mom to-do list, like we would have had more conversations and I would have asked you what you were wondering or what you didn't know. At the end of it, Whitney tells her mom, I think I'm going to do it. And she goes, you hate this. And her mom says, there's a lot of things I don't like, but it is what it is. So,
okay.
I like Whitney's mom. She was cool. I hope we see more of her. So Taylor and Dakota go out to eat, and they talk about the baby shower. Dakota immediately asks how the flower shop with Macy went. Taylor says it was good, and Macy was asking how they were doing. Dakota immediately goes, oh, so she was talking shit again.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, that's a very aggressive move.
Getting a little defensive there.
And so it's obvious that Dakota doesn't like Macy. Macy doesn't like Dakota.
Right.
Dakota calls Macy petty and mentions that any picture Taylor posts of the two of them she doesn't like on social media. And he goes, who does that? And I'm like, well, a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to like every post.
He's calling out the fact that she only doesn't like the photos of him.
She likes all the other photos.
Apparently.
If he's in them. You have to check it out.
I am not going back.
Instagram and do a little scroll through there.
It was easy to find. It was easy to find Whitney's because I went to the very bottom and then I scrolled up because I was like, this is at the beginning of her. And so Taylor defends Macy and says, no, she doesn't talk shit. It's just that I confide in her. And Dakota goes, oh, she's the only one you confide in. And Taylor goes, yeah, I don't confide in many people.
Right.
I don't have a lot of friends, and it's something I struggle with. So she is trying to help me, and it's because I tell her so much. It ends with that. It seems like they're not on the same page about Macy. I didn't like the way that Dakota reacted to it. It was very aggressive. It was very like abrupt and harsh. It gave me off like someone that gaslights you.
Yeah.
And just wants to tell you how you feel instead of talking through it.
Right.
And yeah. So the more this episode goes on,
I mean, he's defensive, but he does have it coming from, her parents as well. There's a lot going on for this guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You're just knocking up my daughter?
I guess we'll figure out more. He tripped and fell. Happens all the time.
So Whitney and Layla meet up for a play date. We don't see Layla's kids. Some of the girls I've noticed don't want their kids on reality TV.
That's fair.
Which is fair. Taylor being one of them, in the scene with her parents, I noticed that all of the photos on her walls that have her kids, their faces are blurred out.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool that they like work around that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I wonder if were their kids on the TikTok at all prior to the reality TV? I mean,
I did.
TikTok, so I don't know.
So I did see one video, and I think it was them, and I think some of the moms had the face away.
Okay.
So like they weren't showing their kid's face, but they had, because it was how many kids does each person have kind of thing. So I think that they have been on social media. I don't know if all of their faces have ever been shown. Okay. So Whitney and Layla meet up for a play date, but it's just with Whitney's 2 kids, and Layla's just there. And it's more so Whitney and Layla can talk.
What kind of play date is this?
And the play date's not really a play date. It's in a Himalayan cave salt. And Whitney says it's supposed to be really good for your immune system. So
is that pink,
pink
salt lamp
and
shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like literally like a room that has Himalayan salt on the ground as if it were sand that you can just like sit in and like in. So her kids are there like playing in this Himalayan salt sand.
Okay.
But it's more so Layla and Whitney can talk.
Right.
So Layla asks Whitney what she's going to wear to Taylor's baby shower, and Whitney says that she's not sure if she's going to go.
I'm sorry. Can we back up 1 second?
Yeah.
Who is Layla? I feel like I missed.
Layla was introduced at Macy's house earlier. She's the one that was 16 when she baptized herself into the Mormon church.
Oh, she's the one that all her friends were Mormon.
Yeah.
And then she became Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was like, wait, who's Layla?
Yeah.
There's a lot of names.
Yeah.
All right.
No. Yeah.
Okay, I'm good. Let's keep going.
You're good. No, we saw more from Layla definitely this episode, which was nice. She seems cool. Definitely young and trying to figure out life with her divorce. Whitney and Layla are talking, and Layla asks Whitney what she's going to wear to Taylor's baby shower. Whitney says that she's not sure if she's going to go and that she doesn't have a real life relationship with Taylor.
Oh, okay.
So Whitney feels like the relationship with Taylor has been all give, no take. And Whitney calls their friendship fake, and she has to walk on eggshells around Taylor. So she feels like she can't be herself.
Right.
Taylor, no, they don't talk in real life. They don't really have this friendship. So why should she go to this baby shower? Whitney says that there was a massive... So in an interview during this scene, Whitney is explaining that during all the drama of the swinging drama, and I think it may have rolled into her arrest, there was this massive group chat all the Mormon wives were in, and they were all fighting with one another, and friendships were torn apart, and she thinks that Taylor allowed that to happen. So she said, why would someone allow that to happen, to allow the drama that you've brought on to tear friendships apart?
Right.
So Whitney just like straight up just like doesn't want anything to do with Taylor.
Okay.
And that's kind of when I started thinking, like we talked about earlier, like, have they even talked? Like, has a conversation between these two happened? I don't think so.
Right. It doesn't sound like it.
But it seems like, at least with Whitney, like they need to have a sidebar conversation. Right. Because it's now you guys are almost like tearing the group apart. I think more so Whitney is trying to like force people into abandoning Taylor than Taylor is abandoning Whitney. But I think talk about Macy saying Taylor takes accountability for stuff. Well, then call your friend,
right,
and take accountability, because it sounds like you guys just don't talk.
Yeah.
Layla, in an interview, says that this is typical Whitney, and every time she has a conflict with someone, she holds on to it and wants to avoid all the drama and not deal with it directly with them. So Layla thinks that it's important that the moms stay strong together and united because that's what Mom Talk was built off of, and that Whitney should show up to show her support for Taylor, and that they should all be one united front. Right. So that's Layla's thoughts on it. Is that, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But you also can't force people to be friends with one another, so.
Right, but it's reality TV, so we got to get them together for the drama.
So the show ends at Taylor's baby shower. Taylor's being interviewed, and she says that she doesn't know who's going to show up or what they're thinking about her, which, again, like, how do you not, A, how do you not know who's showing up to your baby shower?
Right.
And B, like, why would you want your baby shower to be the first time you see someone if you don't know what they're thinking about them? Like, you want it to be a happy occasion. You don't want it to be stressful. You want to, like, enjoy and celebrate the baby you're about to have. Like,
right.
So maybe it's for reality TV. I'm like,
yeah, who knows?
Pick up the phone.
So the end of the episode is Taylor's baby shower.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
Yeah.
And episode 1 ended with Taylor being arrested.
Yes.
It's just what happens there between episode 1 and episode 2.
Yeah, being arrested to baby shower.
Okay, all right.
So Taylor's saying that she does hope that they show up and support her because she doesn't want to do this alone. So again, Taylor is thinking in this, in my opinion, irrational setting of, I need to do this alone. I'm going to be doing this alone. Right. And I get you're pregnant, so emotions are high and your hormones are like raging, but like, you can't rely on other people to do it for you.
Right.
So lean on your parents, lean on people you trust, but just expecting everyone to show up, like, that's not reality. Like, girls are going to backstab you. So if you don't know what these girls are thinking of you, like, it's not going to change at your baby shower.
Yeah, reach out, talk to them before the baby shower. Let's get on the same page here.
So the girls show up and they give like this little montage of all of them walking in. They all look beautiful. I'm pretty sure Jen is wearing the jacket that the Mom Talk girls wear in the intro to this, which looks better, which is why I'm not 100% sure that it's the same jacket, because it looks better here than the one in the intro. Looks not very flattering. But I just thought it was funny that she rolls in with a long blue jacket, and that's what they all wear. Like, all of them wear in the intro.
So did Whitney show up?
No. So Whitney doesn't show up. So during the baby shower, it cuts to like Macy dancing with like a champagne glass, and it's edited like she's in the club. So it's kind of funny. And
champagne?
The girls,
alcohol champagne, or just some.
Listen, it was a champagne flute with orange in it.
Oh, okay.
It didn't look orange enough to just be straight orange juice, but who knows?
Who knows?
I can't. I mean, there's non-alcoholic versions if they can have that. And during this, the girls are talking about how awesome of a dad Dakota will be, and Macy like makes a side-eye face.
Oh no.
And Demi catches it.
Oh.
So Macy says that she does think that he'll be a good dad. She's just nervous about the baby daddy part. She tells the girls about what she saw, her and Michaela saw at the event, and all these girls are like, oh
because
shit.
Of her previous husband and
right.
drama with all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they didn't know about that. So she spills out little detail.
Oh boy.
And now everyone's kind of thinking, oh shit, like, who is this guy? So all the girls are shocked Whitney doesn't show up. So this is kind of when they like notice Whitney's not there. It looks like they're all about to leave. And then they're like,
oh wait, Whitney didn't show up?
Where's Whitney? And then Jesse goes fashionably late. And then that's when Layla was like really awkward. It's like, I don't think she's coming. Layla breaks the news that she's not coming. And then Taylor walks over and says, is everyone here? I want to get a photo. And then she goes, oh wait, where's Whitney? And then they're all like, so it's all very convenient that this is all happening at the same time. But then they all like look at, and they're like, oh, well, I guess she told Layla she wasn't coming last night. And Taylor goes, why? Like, you know why? You're a bad liar. Why? Layla goes, she thinks that you guys aren't friends in real life. And Taylor goes, well, that's news to me. So there's obviously a disconnect.
Right. But also, like, all right, let's get everybody together for a photo. Where's Whitney? Like, you didn't realize that she wasn't there the whole time?
Yeah.
Come on.
So Taylor goes up to her mom and tells her mom Whitney's not here. Her mom goes, why? And Taylor tells her, I guess she thinks we're not friends. This is how this episode ends. Taylor's mom excuses herself and leaves the room and calls Whitney. And it ends with Whitney answering the phone and Taylor's mom going, I noticed you weren't here. Why is that? And so Whitney goes, I think that's a conversation between your daughter and myself. Like, that's not a conversation I need to have with you. So yeah, so there's definitely, like, they need to talk.
Right.
And also, if my mom ever called someone and I'm 30 years old, I'd be mortified. Don't call my friend. Like, don't call someone and ask them why they didn't show up for my baby shower. So that was the end of the episode.
That's the end of the episode. So I just have to ask you.
Yeah.
Like, after episode 1, you were Team Whitney. Are you still Team Whitney, or are you starting to, like, change gears here? What's the thoughts?
I think, based off this episode, I'm still Team Whitney. I can see both sides.
Okay.
I did see the trailer for the upcoming season, and I can see where Whitney gets painted in a bad light. So I'm curious to see how all those episodes
it all pans out. Okay.
So still don't think Whitney is 100% in the wrong. I think it is in the wrong to try to, like, pull these girls away from Taylor and, like, make them decide. I try to be the type of person where if I'm in an argument with someone, I don't make my friends choose like who to pick. Like, it's like, you can still be friends with them, just don't make me be around them. So I really don't think that that's a good move if Whitney is trying to, like, pull these girls away from Taylor.
Right.
Because I don't see that happening, especially with Macy. And all the other girls definitely seem to, like, want Taylor around and think that it's weird to be filming TikToks without her.
Right.
So I can see both sides of it based off of this episode, but I also think that Taylor has a lot of work to do on herself. And I think she's trying to do that. And I definitely got a more mature vibe from her this episode.
Okay.
So we'll see. Like, I'm not dismissive of either. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Join in next week for season 1, episode 3 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at RealityHitsMatt with 1 T, RealityHitsMAT, and also realityhitsmatt@gmail.com if you want to shoot us an email, ask us any questions, correct me on my recaps or anything like that. So thanks everyone.
Thanks.